Finally, I mean, we finally have clarity on the DeWanna Bonner situation with the Indiana Fever. Apparently, she wants out. She wants to be traded. She does not intend to return to play with the Indiana Fever. Now, I would say I'm shocked, but when you are out for 5 games, she's missed 5 consecutive games for personal reasons. Everybody was just hoping that she was okay. Everybody, because sometimes when you're missing games, or players missing games for personal reasons, you're not really supposed to assume. You're not supposed to really think that sometimes it has something to do with family reasons, personal life. So that's what everybody was thinking. That's what everybody was kind of trying to figure out what was going on. But only the Indiana Fever knew, and DeWanna Bonner knew really what was going on. From the outside, we can only assume. But now that we have clarity, now that we know that the situation, now we know that DeWanna Bonner does not want to be a member of the Indiana Fever. I'm here to say that I'm not surprised, and I'm here to say I told you so. Back in the offseason when it came down to DeWanna Bonner signing, I said I give it about 3 to 4 games when she's starting in the regular season, and then they're going to have to switch to Lexi Holt. They're going to have to switch to either Sophia Cunningham, and we all know what happened in those 3 games that DeWanna Bonner was starting. She got on the bench. So that's why I was telling people. I was like, it doesn't shock me. I'm not surprised at all. DeWanna Bonner, she's a legend. She's going to be a Hall of Famer. She's the second all-time leading scorer in WNBA history. She's been around for a while. This was a big signing for the Indiana Fever, and it just didn't work out. $200,000. This was one of the largest contracts and one of the biggest free agent signings this offseason. And unfortunately for the Indiana Fever, it just was never a right fit. And that was always my initial reaction when she got signed to the Indiana Fever. I was like, it could work due to the fact that she brings a veteran presence, due to the fact that she's won a championship, due to the fact that her defensive versatility. But as her age, being 37 years old, the style of basketball that the Indiana Fever like to play, the style of Caitlin Clark always having the ball in her hands, her going from a offense that was really half court grit and grind style type of offense with 2 bigs in the paint with Stephanie White coaching. Of course, this was an entire different team, a younger team, an entire different engine or player that she's not really accustomed to playing with. Caitlin Clark, as great as she is, you have to pair her with players that can play her play style because she is the engine, she's the generator. You change your play style to center around Caitlin Clark, not the other way around. So for DeWanna Bonner coming over, it doesn't shock me that she just didn't fit with the Indiana Fever because of the fact of the matter is they like to play 7 seconds or less offense, run and gun, pace, even though this offense this season since Stephanie White has came over hasn't really been like it was last year. But some games it looks like they're getting back to that. Some games it looks like it's still in the works due to injuries with Caitlin Clark, and I'm just trying to figure out the offense. But DeWanna Bonner is in no position to, I feel like, dictate where she wants to go. There's reports coming out saying that she wants to play for either the Phoenix Mercury. There's reports coming out saying that she wants to play with the Atlanta Dream. This Phoenix Mercury and the issue is with the Indiana Fever is that, are you going to be able to trade for her? Probably not, which means you're probably going to have to cut her. So maybe that's why it kind of leaves DeWanna Bonner in a position where she may get what she wants, because if they cut her, they're going to prorate her salary, because we know it's not the midseason of the WNBA, so salaries don't become fully guaranteed until the mid-season of the WNBA. So they'll prorate her salary if they cut DeWanna Bonner, right? Which allows DeWanna Bonner to then go and basically to possibly play with the Phoenix Mercury, which is one of her preferred destinations, and they have about $88,000 in salary cap. So you're still getting your money from the Indian Fever, and then if they cut her, she gets to do and play where she wants. She gets to go and play where she wants to go. And if I'm the Indiana Fever, I'm trying to do in all my power to not cut her, to trade her. But the problem is her contract is $200,000, and with the way that she's played, her value is not that great. And a lot of people aren't going to want to attach two players for DeWanna Bonner because it's going to take two players to match her salary to possibly get DeWanna Bonner. Now, it's some teams out there that would love DeWanna Bonner and love to have her, but this year has been a down year. She's shooting a career low 35%, I believe, from the field. And she averaged 7 points in 9 games with the Indiana Fever and 3.8 rebounds. And it just wasn't the right fit for DeWanna Bonner. And probably it's also Father Thomas undefeated. She's 37 years old. When I told y'all, Chad, I told y'all, she's 37 years old. When she first got signed with the Indiana Fever, I was like, I like the signing because of her versatility defensively and her being able to catch and shoot. But I was worried, and I was saying through preseason, I was saying once she got signed, I said, I don't believe DeWanna Bonner is going to start for the Indiana Fever. And 3 games in, Lexi Hull took her spot. I was saying it in preseason. I was saying when she originally got signed, I was like, if she can last the season, if she can last coming off the bench, if she can last playing 20 to 25 minutes, and then you saving her for the postseason, which you're going to need her because the game is going to slow down and she'll be able to be more effective in the half court, similar to that grit and grind offense that she's accustomed to, because that's what the playoffs essentially become in the postseason. Very slow, very methodical. You got to operate in the half court, and that's where DeWanna Bonner has shined her entire career. But I was like, is she going to make it to the playoffs? And for what the Indiana Fever want to do and what the Indiana Fever like to do for is push the ball, push tempo, play in space, dump and kick, attack the rim, pass it out. It just felt like she wasn't a fit from the start, and I'm not shocked at all, and I'm not surprised. But if you're the Indiana Fever, once again, you want to you want to trade her. You want to make sure that you're getting something from her. You don't want to just let her prorate her salary, walk for free. She gets to go and play on a contending team and a team that's has some minutes, and she can be a valuable member for somebody other than your organization. That's not how it works. And if I'm the Fever, you're very disappointed because you gave her a max slot. Like, you gave her a max slot. Somebody said, Anthony, she didn't say she wanted to lead the Fever. It's been reports. She may not have came out of her mouth and said it, but it's been reports that are out right now that are saying that DeWanna Bonner has no interest in returning to play for the Fever. So Yahoo Sports just reported this. This happened literally an hour ago. So we're talking about this right now. This happened an hour ago. She doesn't have to say it. When reports start linking, when reports start coming out, and she's missed 5 consecutive games, Anthony, and I appreciate you hopping in the chat. She missed 5 consecutive games, and nobody knew why she was missing those games. And now reports are coming out saying that she has no intentions to play with the Indiana Fever for the rest of the season. That means that something happened, something's going on, it's some disgruntlement, and I'm not shocked because sometimes the hardest transition when players get older, whether it's the WNBA or the NBA, is realizing that they're not the player that they used to be, and realizing that you have to pass the torch, and also realizing that going from a starter, you've been starting your whole life, starting your whole career, then coming off the bench. And then also it's the mental thing. Maybe if you're DeWanna Bonner's probably thinking like, well, I'm not starting, but I don't feel like Lexi Hull is better than me. I don't feel like Sophia Cunningham is better than me. That's the mental aspect of Father Tom as well. But it may not be that those players are better than you. It just could be that is there a better fit for what the offense and what the team needs. So that's what we're dealing with when we talk about players getting older and players not losing a step and players not being what they used to be. So I don't know, but for us at Indiana Fever, there's no way it's going to be hard, but you don't want to cut her. You do not want to cut her because if you cut her, the Mercury have, like I said, $88,000 to $89,000 in cap space so they can sign DeWanna Bonner. And another team like the Aces would be a good fit for DeWanna Bonner as well, who can come in and fit right away for what they're trying to do. But if you're the Indiana Fever, you're not in the business of trying to help anybody out. because it's already bad enough that you're about to lose DeWanna Bonner and you paid her $200,000, which was a max contract slot. But to lose her to go to a team that she can help potentially in the playoffs and capture a championship. And I'm not saying that who knows, like she could go to the Phoenix Mercury, she could go to Atlanta Dream, she could go to the Las Vegas Aces, and she could still be cooked. She could still be washed. But we just don't know. Is it fit, or is she not? It's falling time here, or it could be a mixture of both. And I think it's a mixture of both with the Indiana Fever, and that's what you saw. She's not able to play the style offense that the Indiana Fever want to play. Caitlin Clark as well runs the show. She's a generator like Luka Doncic, like LeBron James, like all these great ball-dominant isolation players, creative players that have the balls in their hands and are responsible for playmaking, creating, scoring, doing everything on the basketball court. Sometimes it's hard for certain players to play with that type of play style. But when you have a generation player, a transcendent player like Caitlin Clark, like LeBron James, like Luka Doncic, like James Harden with the Houston Rockets, it's like, we're going to make it work around our star. And if you can't make it work around our star and fit a role and fit a specific spot on the basketball court and be impactful and do the small things where it's the hustle stats or be a catch and shoot player or just rebound and defend, then you have no purpose on this team, because at the end of the day, it's not about making DeWanna Bonner happy. It's about making sure that Caitlin Clark has the best players around her that's going to allow her to succeed and allow the Indiana Fever to succeed, to go off and to be a playoff contending team and then eventually someday win a championship. So she missed 5 games, 7.1 points per game, 3.8 rebounds, career low in field goal percentage of 34%. It's just time for the Indiana Fever to cut bait, basically. But one of the biggest pickups in free agency, and it just seems like it's time to say bye-bye. And this happens. This happens, Shaq. This happens. And we're seeing it right now. We're seeing a lot of in the NBA. Kristaps Porzingis just got traded. He just got traded to Atlanta Hawks for a bag of peanuts. He just got traded for a bag of peanuts. Kristaps Porzingis, because of the fact that his stock is down right now. So players get traded, players move on, players get cut. Breaking news: the Boston, Atlanta, Brooklyn Nets are finalizing a 3-team trade that sends Kristaps Porzingis a second-round pick to the Hawks. Terrence Mann, who's a great role player, and Atlanta's number 22 pick to the Nets. Not a bad for the Nets. Good pickup. And George Yang and a second-round pick to the Celtics. He went for a second-round pick. That's what Kristaps Porzingis just went to. So Iron Ball says she effed up for the future players. She missed too many games with no explanation. When this situation happens again down the line, they're screwed. They can't get in their feelings. Yeah, man, I don't know, because nobody knew what was going on. So it's bad. It's bad. So I don't know. It just, she's earned the right to play wherever she's wants. She is a legend. But at the same time, when you sign a contract, you will hope that a player can stick it out and they can compete. But sometimes it's like when you go to a new job, you're excited for a new job. You're happy. You think this job is better than your last job, or you're not even better than your last job. You're leaving a situation where you always knew to try to take a leap of faith, try to take a chance. But you go to this new job and it's not like your last job, and you're not a important part of that job, the new job that you're on in comparison to your last job, and you don't like the situation. So basically you silently quit. And that's what DeWanna Bonner kind of did. She silently quit, and now she's coming out and says that reports are saying that she is not going to return to the Indiana Fever, and her preferred destination is the Phoenix Mercury and Atlanta Dream. Things happen. It's crazy, but crazy things have happened. And it's your boy, Mike K. Smith. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Also follow me on social media platforms, AKIS NBA, talking to WNBA and the NBA, of course, on all platforms. Always leave you out this. Faith without works is dead, and trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean out unto your own understanding. Always acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Appreciate y'all, chat. Hopping in on my truth tellers, man. And I'm gone. Peace.